Hi everyone, welcome to the final part of our overlapping bottles or shapes or dreidels or whatever it is that you drew, showing primary colors making secondary colors and maybe primary and secondary colors making tertiary colors. So welcome back to this part, and this is our final end, and the supplies that you will need are Sharpies, maybe fine liner, a ruler possibly, a pencil, and maybe tape, and that's to be determined. And the reason why I want to use tape for this is you can see my paper's a little bit kind of bubbly. And for this part, I want it to be smooth. So I'm just going to take another piece right here. And I might just loop it and put it underneath and see if that, and it has to be pretty flat. So let's see if that'll help. Yeah, that works. That'll work. Okay, so you can start with pencil, but I'm going to go right to my fine liner and Sharpie. So what I'm trying to do here, the main objective is to show patterns using just black behind the scene. Otherwise, it's just plain and boring, and we want to make it pop. So we're going to be adding patterns using the elements of art, lines, and shapes to create patterns. So I'm going to start with the bottom part here. And I think for this one, I'm going to use my ruler. You don't have to do this. You can do this freehand, but I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to start drawing lines. This is my idea. And you're going to be going in two different directions. So my table is going to be patterns going one way, and my background wallpaper, we can call it, they will be going another way. Now you can see here that this is just a simple pattern here, but I'm going to spruce it up. And I'm going to think of another way, and you can test it out on a piece of paper, on a plain piece of paper. You can kind of get an idea of what you want to do. And I have a feeling I know what I want to do. And it's kind of this design, which I love. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start with just go right to my Sharpie because I know what I'm doing and I've done this before. And now I'm going to add my dots. Okay, I think I'm done. I really like how this pattern looked. And I want you to know I played around with patterns before. And before you start your patterns, figure out what it is that you want them to look like. Most of these are lines. There's little dots and things. But before I start my background, I want it to be a different direction. And I want to figure out a completely different pattern. Okay? I don't want to do the same thing for the tabletop and the background. Okay? So now I have a piece of paper here. And on the side, I'm going to kind of play around with patterns to see what I want. And what I might do now is I might, you know what? We're not doing this. Do not tape your work because it can pull up. So you can do the looping part. I should have tested it out first, but now I'm just going to do a loop like that and stick it underneath because now I kind of pulled out my paper there, but that's okay. And that just helps it stay flat. Okay, back to this. On the side, not where you're working, but on the side, you're going to experiment with patterns and line patterns. And I think I want to do maybe something that's maybe wavy, or maybe I love scallop, or maybe something like that. And then here I could do, I like the way this looks, and I could do, but I did a line there. I don't know if I want to do line again. So I might do something like that, or just, I don't know. want to figure it out. I'm going to keep trying different things. So I do like the scallop, but before I do the scallop, I want to create the lines that I want. So now I'm actually going to use pencil, and I'm going to kind of figure it out first, and I'm going to draw my lines the opposite direction, going behind my bottles. I'm not drawing on top. And you can also make your spaces a little bit bigger. They don't wider. They don't have to be as thin as, oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way. Which is why you use pencil. So now I'm going to go the other way. And I'm going to do this backwards. You can do it the other way. But I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to measure my line in pencil. And I'm doing them a little bit thicker than before. And I only have little areas to do until I get to the top, because of the bottles are in front. And I'm kind of guesstimating how far apart they are just by using my eyes. I'm kind of guessing the distance and the space between them, and see if I'm right. Hopefully it'll all work out. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oops. Yeah, I can see from where the ruler's pulling up. You can do it the other way. You can do it going down. You can measure it if you want in advance, but you don't have to. And I can do freehand afterwards. I don't have to use the ruler again. Okay, so there is the just the way my lines are going to go, and now I'm going to try and fit my patterns in. Now I'm going to go using the scallop, but I'm going to freehand it. I recommend you guys maybe use a ruler to do this. And you have to hold your paper down while you're working because of the waves. You know, it kind of puckers up in certain spots. But always remember, you're going behind your bottles. I'm actually just going to do this like this here. Now I'm going to do my, oh, I missed one. I'm going to do my scallops. And I'm going to freehand these. You can use pencil first. It gets more difficult as you get to where the bottles are, so you don't have to do complicated patterns. You can do easy things. Doesn't have to be as complicated as this. And now I have to be just thinking about my bottles where they are so I don't go over them. And I keep going behind them. And it's tricky when you get to that. So you have to kind of look above for this pattern. But you can do other patterns. Just make sure that they're behind your bottles. And there are my interesting patterns behind. I want to make sure that I have a nice tabletop. I might even go over that a little bit. But you guys can just figure out what patterns. Practice first in your sketchbook. Have an idea of what you want to do. Test it out. It does take some time and patience. And like I said, it doesn't have to be that complicated. Just thickening that line up a little bit. And there you go. I'm going to now take off the loopy paper from the back. Make sure your name is on the back. And there you go. I can't wait to see what they look like. Remember, I'm going to try and flatten them for you. Once I get them all, I'm going to actually try and flatten them before I return them. So they will be flatter when I do get them, because the water technique does kind of pop them up a little bit. Awesome. Can't wait to see them, guys. Good luck and have fun.